all right then, team. I mean, we've had such a big day today. They've actually let us sit down and have a chat about what we have just witnessed.
The biggest of days.
The biggest of days.
The biggest of big days.
Oh man. What, I mean, look.
It didn't disappoint.
It's easy to be, to step back from it a bit and be like, so amazed by all the stuff we just witnessed, because we'd spent a lot of the day planning, being like, what we're going to talk about with Nino, all of his stats. But then that was actually out there more special than I
think
expected.
we all got it wrong. And I thought we were going to get this fireworks explosion off the front and he was going to roll back the ears and take it to them.
Really?
Yeah, because he didn't do it at Worlds. And I kind of thought the emotion got the better of him at Worlds. And then I sort of thought, maybe we're going to get the fireworks display here that was scheduled for Crom Montana, but what we actually got was better. We got to see the actual human being behind the sort of Terminator.
He was really stressed about the 80% rule. So at the World Champs, if you drift so far back, you get pulled. So imagine that today. Like, everyone's there, family's there, X amount of people, we're all there, and the guy gets pulled off 1 kilometre before the finish and taken into the woods. Put down.
Like a horse.
That's what it feels like when you get pulled at the 80% rule. And I've been there.
They put the sheets up around
times.
you, have they?
They are not doing that to Nino Schurter, the greatest of all time, the man who won 10 world championships and 9 overall World Cups.
He was under pressure and stressed.
Yeah.
And when we saw him start and make 15th, he had a bad short track.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, dude, this could go wrong.
Yeah.
But he didn't. He performed. He was proper Nino. He got to 15th. Settled into 20th, then moved forward.
Mate.
He celebrated. Did you see him come through the finish? A lap to go.
Yeah,
I thought for one horrible second he'd got that wrong, and that was crossing the line. He thought he was on the last lap.
The celebration wasn't for his amazing
celebrated coming up the
career.
bank as well, didn't he? It was beautiful, because also that meant that everyone who was between the start finish and then the next and then the next could just cheer it.
But he got to finish the race.
Yeah, it was
in a
incredible.
good position.
Yeah, unlike the two of us though, you've actually raced against him. What is, I guess what interests me really is the bike riders. What's the maddest thing you've seen him do on a bike, or what's the most impressive? You know that thing that you see someone do and you go, oof.
So we did a bike race in 2011 in Pietermaritzburg in South Africa. And it's when Nino was just coming up. He won his first World Cup in 2010 in Dolby against Absalon in a sprint finish. And it was like the new guy, and the kind of like, he was the GOAT at the time coming up, and he beat him first World Cup.
Amazing.
We went to South Africa for the first round the next year. And the course, it was like a pivotal moment in his career, but I think the mountain bike. We had this rock garden, and it was the first time in cross country where we all rocked up and were like, how do we do it? There's no line. It was super technical. We were on these spindly little 26-inch wheel bikes. And we all worked it out. They found a line, and it was horrible, like bouncing down this thing, then a turn. And I was like, God, this is sketch. And in the race, I finished, whatever, just off the back of the good guys.
Just off the back of the good guys.
As Simon Burney would tell me, in about 25th, something like that. And anyway, saw the race afterwards, and Nino won. And what happened? Him and Absalon were in this titanic battle. Got to the last lap, hit the rock garden, and he'd saved this line that was right to the left. Didn't use it all race, which is like crazy skills. Bombed it, got 10 seconds in the one section, won the race. So big moment, he wins again, he beats Absalon. But the bigger picture, it's the first time I seem to remember a cross-country race getting won on the descents.
You could look at that as the moment that it all changed, and that's what he's done. He's
pushed it.
Yeah, he's pushed it, and he's turned it into a sport for bike riders, I guess, and for not just like, Absalon had this colossal engine and could just burn through watts and burn up climbs, and no one else could stay with him. But Absalon couldn't descend the way Nino could, and that forced everyone. You wouldn't have the likes of a Vidari or a Luca Martin now without Nino's influence on the sport.
It's like a chicken and egg thing. It's like, did the courses make the bikes more technical and the riders, or the other way? But I think it was the course change, and Nino, the type of rider he is. So before it was bigger climbs, so smaller, skinnier guys with the big engines, the Absalon, your Ninos and your Hamidas as well from Spain, wicked rider. Kohavi, strong guys that were more robust, more athletic. They came into the sport at the same time, and it was this perfect moment where it changed. For me, for the worst, to be honest.
Well, I mean,
So
At
Nino
that
did
point, I
a
should
lot
have
of
gone
great
road
things for the
racing, but-
sport, but in the end he drove out Ollie Beckinsale. And some people say that's his greatest achievement.
Well,
well,
controversial.
But no, it was at those points, and then the sport changed. It became shorter laps. It became what it is now.
I don't think I'd. I mean, it doesn't matter at all what I think about anything, but I don't think I'd be into cross-country racing without Nino. They asked me to submit that little thing for the video at the end, and they were like, what does he mean to you? What has he done for you? And I think as somebody who rode downhill bikes and then enduro bikes, trail bikes, mainly sort of downhill gravity-orientated side of the sport, he switched a whole generation of people onto cross-country. Yeah. And how you saw that cross-country race at short track on Friday night, we both said that looked like I don't know what, like a mountain bike race, a fast mountain bike race, as opposed to a cross-country skinny bikes lycra race.
They were pulling gaps, throwing it through the woods.
Yeah, and I think he's not single-handedly. Yolanda Neff did a lot of the lifting on that as well.
Yeah.
But I think he opened a massive generation worth of people's eyes to the sport that maybe just were never interested in it.
And we talked to Thomas Frischnecht, of course, earlier today, which was incredible, and just heard about how long he'd known that this guy was going to be something special. But even still, you cannot anticipate that somebody is going to achieve that number of podiums, the 36 World Cups, all of this stuff that even you put it into numbers. The reason why your anecdotes are so good is because that's the kind of human value of what it is. And I remember standing here 2 years ago when he crossed the line in first place. And I mean, today the crowds, there were tens of thousands of people here, and they were here, they wanted to see Alessandra Keller win. Don't get me wrong, but they were here
Keller,
for Nino
by the way.
Schurter. What a woman. But hang on, but the Lens rider, mate, she is incredible. But the Lens rider of 2023, he was, 37 then. And the fact that he managed to just kick on and look like that guy that we know he is and has been for so many years. And the sound, I never heard anything like it. It was unbelievable. And we got that again today. But as you guys are saying, it was something slightly different. It was more like we're here to celebrate you, but we know that this is
He was really in that last lap. I think that's what I meant at the top by saying that we got it wrong. I think what we saw was actually a really human side to him. He was just really present in that last lap and enjoyed it, soaked it in, and it wasn't the Terminator kill mode. It was the actual do you know what? I've done this for so long. This is the last chance I'm going to feel this.
You interviewed him in the week, and that's what that takeaway you came back with. You were saying that the plan was for them to win one of these races.
Right.
Between Thomas Frischnecht and Nino, right, how do we go out? Well, we go out like we always do. We go out by winning bike races because we're bike winners. Yeah. And I think they completely...
Butch Cassidy and the Sundance
completely underestimated the enormity of it. So his form's good, his power's good, his kit's good, everything's right for him to put it all together.
He's got gold in his bike, man.
He's got gold in his bike.
Gold in his bike. But what they didn't think was actually the emotion of it. And that has been his downfall.
Do you think they've ever thought about the emotion before this? Because that's what they said.
Yeah, but they lock it away.
Yeah, and he's the master at it. His greatest strength is that he doesn't do emotion.
Yeah.
He does winning.
Yeah. But to your point, guys, I think that is why it was so special and why it was such a special day. Because the thing about he's obviously the best of the best of the best, but the thing about being any athlete who's won at any level, who's competed at any level, is you can't really stop and say, oh, look, what an incredible thing. All these people are watching me and cheering for me. You can't, because you have to be like, okay, even if I win today, tomorrow I've got to try and get better and win again.
I think you saw that, I'm rubbish at surprises and spontaneity. I'm not comfortable. And I think you saw a lot of that with him this week. Yeah. I know. But it's one of them things, when they handed him the bike at the start of the week, you could see this, terrific.
Oh, it's heavier than my old one.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah. But do you know what I mean?
My lucky bike, guys.
I don't think it's ever been something, you're right, he's had all these successes, but whenever he's achieved them, it's been tick, success, what's next, where are we going next, what's the next thing we need to do? And
I think a lot of athletes do that. They have a goal, and as soon as they get it, they tick it off, and it's to their detriment when they retire, because they don't take it in at the time. They just do it, tick it off, next season. How was this season? Oh, this season was brilliant. A couple of beers, right, next. Pre-season training, goal setting. They don't look, athletes aren't very good at looking back.
Yeah,
They're
'cause-
always just looking forward the
Well,
whole
we've
time.
talked about it with you and going to the Olympics
Yeah, I've-
and trying to look around,
on
and
a-
it's very, very hard.
Not
to think,
comparing my career to Nino
"That's
Schurter's
all right,
by any
help
degree,
yourself,
but,
he's not
I'm here for it.
but I look back now, having stopped racing 12 years ago, and some of the good races that I had, I never took them in. It was always the next one, and the next one, and the next one, and the next trip, and the next training session, and you didn't celebrate it at the time.
Do you think people are different like that? Because, I mean, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say Martin Vidari, his win in Val di Sole, that was well celebrated by a lot of people. Do you think that different riders emotionally are different?
Yeah, and I think the scene where you see Vidari, the way he acts in the race, the way he sometimes makes mistakes in races. He's an emotional guy. Henrik Avancini,
Yeah.
same guy.
Yeah.
You know, emotional, far more emotionally linked decisions.
You're
It's
making
like-
a point about South American riders here.
But
aren't you?
if we are looking at those two, I'm saying it's 100% correct.
Yeah.
You know,
My sample size of 2.
the sample size of 2 says that 2 guys are more emotionally linked when they race
Yeah.
than a reserve British guy, sample of 1, me.
Yeah.
So,
nice. And
who
so-
just goes right next, okay,
Yeah.
that was good. Roll on to the next one, planning the next. And some people are more competitive,
Yeah.
and some people
Than
are more
you.
process.
Right.
So I'm more process orientated.
Right,
So I'll have a plan, and then I'll follow it, and I'll tick it off, and then I'm on to the next thing.
Yeah.
And then you look at someone like a Nino's probably like that. He'll just go like boof, 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 boof. Right, next. You know,
Yeah.
the guy won 2017 every World Cup
Unbelievable.
and the Worlds. And it's like for some people they'd be like, well, completed it, mate, done.
Yeah.
But he just was like next, and he goes and goes and goes and goes. But I think today he's finally like,
Well, I hope that's
Rightly
true.
so.
Yeah, I hope that's true because it was a. I think everybody had tears in their eyes at some point over the course of the day, because the weight of emotion that was out there, the number of people, so many people like caring about that thing, and of course all of the Swiss fans. You know, in the end, they did get to see a Swiss winner, and they got to celebrate their Swiss hero as well. And it was just, I don't know. I don't want to be too like, like this is the stuff of life, but I kind of think it is, like having those moments.
Did
all
Frishy
together.
cry? Did we get Frishy to cry?
He only had
and then
in
he-
studio. He had just a little,
and then
little
afterwards
red.
there was a few tears, and then he chugged half a magnum of champagne.
That'll do
That'll
it.
make you
one
cry.
go.
Yeah.
That'll do
John
it.
Riley was really impressed. It was like, I can't believe a granddad could do that.
Yeah, no, Frishy's had his fair share of champagne over the years.
He was slagging. Were you there when he was like slagging Nino off afterwards? He's like, 36 champagne bottles open for winning World Cups, and he can't even get the 37th done.
He
We need
laboured
to
over
take him
that,
out
to be
of it.
fair, yeah. He did labour over that.
Before when we were getting all our mics done before the start, and I asked Thomas, do you remember your retirement race? And he was like, where was it? He said, it was in Schladming. I just kind of stopped. Some people said, well, like there was no big thing. And that guy's, it's not quite to the same sportsman degree as Nino.
Yeah.
But the guy's won 17 World Cups.
incredible.
You know, an Olympic medal, world champion, 17 World Cups. The guy's a proper hitter.
And he did in his own way lift the bar for descending in
did.
technical riding.
But I think this is something that the sport does better now, with more professionalism, with it being covered more, with it having more, a wealth of stuff you can watch. We talked about it actually yesterday in the downhill as well. The fact that some of the younger riders can just watch. There's more clips available even to learn from.
Yeah,
so
true.
this is something I think that is happening more now, is that people are learning to try and celebrate these things while we're experiencing them, and also to just keep track of the fact that Troy Brosnan is his 100th.
Yeah.
We looked at some of the stats.
Danny
So-
Hart, 120.
yeah, but it turns out lots of people finished at 99 because they didn't even realise it was their 100. Like they could have got to their 100th race.
But do you think there's a bit to be said about Nino? I've just got this thing where in my head, he's from a generation that predates social media and our new sort of need to share everything every day, all day. And that he's from a bubble where he could just do his job and not have to do the big cuddly friendly everyday media thing. And that's maybe a sea change that we're seeing now, where athletes are expected to do a lot more outside of the sport.
Well, it's one thing that Frisch said as well, wasn't it? That he's very good. One of his strengths is he when he trains 110%. And when he is off the bike, he leaves it.
He's a fun guy.
Yeah.
He's very much interested in his family and his home life. And then, so I think that's why he can do it maybe for so long.
There's a lot.
He has a switch to be able to turn on and off.
There's a lot of evidence actually that you do need to have that kind of, that's been looked into now, that you do need to have that kind of like life outside of the life that you're making in sport to be able to have that longevity. That was the day, really. Nino Schurter
that's what it'll be remembered for,
is
really,
last
I
dance.
think.
However, we've got a couple of minutes before we just head off, hopefully to party with Nino, if you've picked up on. No,
I don't know
That's a hot ticket.
if Frishy's still hoovering up that champagne, there mightn't be any
But-
partying left to do.
But you want to, I mean, I know you were absolutely gunning to talk about Keller, as I was. I just thought that was one of the most like incredible performances, to do it
Huge.
here in front of that crowd that was so keen to see her win, and to beat bloody Jenny Risvets, who is a girl who's just been so on top.
There was one shot we saw at the top of the climb where she'd got past Risvid's, and Risvid's mouth opened to get some air in, and we haven't kind of seen that. We've seen her be poker faced up until the last lap, and you and I both looked at each other and went, oh, this might be on.
Yeah.
Risveds is hard to read. She's got proper poker
Isn't
face,
she?
super
Yeah.
stable.
It's just
Polar
so-
opposite from
To
Keller.
interrupt, exactly. I love watching them race against each other, because there's this like a streamlined kind of ride from
Yeah.
Risvets, and you don't see her, anything, and then Keller, she just looks like she's absolutely taking it on every minute, and you kind of, I feel like, as like an amateur athlete, I empathise with Keller more, right? Because it's like, look at her, she's really suffering.
I know, but ultimately the result is the same.
Yeah, fine.
In that if that's what Keller looks like all the time, then that's what Jenny looks like all the time.
Yeah,
and it's
true.
the same thing, but Keller today, just,
Wow.
that's as impressive as I've ever seen her be.
Yeah, and I think she said she's on the short track at Worlds, big victory, Swiss champion in Switzerland, Swiss team, all that stuff, and all the sponsorship stuff after it.
Oh, talking.
She was a bit jaded on the short track, and then to bounce back, put that aside, focus on the job.
And she's so delightful as well. She's not someone
Yeah.
who can be like, actually, I'm going to just take myself off and ignore all a few people. She's like, I'm
She
going to chat
is-
to everyone. I'm going to be welcoming. That takes it out of you if you're also.
She's a great ambassador for this
training.
sport,
Yeah.
and she talked really like humbly to us in the interview at the start of the week about how she's kind of aware that there'll be young fans at those World Championships who will be the next generation of Swiss riders, and it's important that they see Swiss riders do well at home and take that as a leverage into their own
The
careers.
Swiss cross-country scene is so good,
Amazing.
and it brings people through like Keller's and your Sharties and Rukingas come
Kohler.
through. Kohler coming through.
Amazing.
And you go to one of their national series races, and it's like nothing else. The
Yeah.
junior
It's like an
field,
international World Cup,
Yeah.
in
but
terms
it's
of
the
standing.
strength in depth, not just at the elite stuff, but the junior field, it's 120. The youth field. In the centre, there's trials courses set up for kids. All the
It's all
elite
bikes.
athletes, as part of going there, have to do some skill sessions with kids.
Yeah.
They're all doing
that's
it.
cool.
It's
Yeah.
wicked.
Yeah.
And they've got this really stable pyramid of these kids at participation level at the bottom,
Yeah.
all coming up to your Nino at the top.
Yeah.
Then on this second layer, your Fluckingers and your Kellers.
Yeah.
Each one teach one, like it's a big
And
thing.
it's,
isn't it?
Thomas Frischnecht, he told us an amazing story about
About how he met
the
Nino.
first time he met
Yeah.
Nino. If you won a category, or in the first free category in the Swiss Cup,
Yeah.
you went on a skills weekend, of which Nino was one of the kids and Frishy was a teacher there. But it's just like, how cool's that?
Yeah, it's wicked.
Unreal.
And it's an amazing, they love the sport, But
Yeah.
I think the bit we have to talk about
Go.
is
Your player of the match.
a couple of the riders,
Yeah.
Sevilla Blanc,
Blimey.
Evie Richards.
Oh
What
my
on
God,
earth?
she hit the deck, man, didn't she?
I've never seen a crash like that.
And also, because when she went down, I was like, that's surely, like, she was sort of feeling herself. Like, I thought she was
She just
going
checked
to
the
lie down.
collarbones,
Yeah.
put the glasses back on,
Mate.
chop chop. It was-
These riders are hard.
From a downhill perspective, we talk in that side of the sport a lot about sometimes speed can carry you through a crash, and speed can actually be your friend in a crash, and that sort of moves you away from the bike, keeps you moving, stops the body digging in.
And she
And I
didn't
think
land
we s-
on anything big. other
There
than the
wasn't,
floor.
there wasn't like wrists out in front, or
Yeah.
she.
happened too quick.
It's like a bit harsh.
Oh, she actually, when you see it in slow motion, and she just got sent over the front of the thing.
Folded.
To come back and make the podium, to finish
Yeah.
third. That's
It's
one of
just-
the.
But you reckon she was gutted on that podium? You reckon
Yeah,
she
yeah,
thought
yeah.
that?
'Cause she
I
was-
think she'll be annoyed with us. If you crash on a really tech section, it's part of racing. But where she crashed with a mistake and just a bad luck, really,
was
just
just-
catching it.
she was
Yeah,
just
adjusting her
getting her
glasses,
glasses.
caught an edge, bars turned.
And then similarly in the men's as
She'll
well.
be she'll be, I think, cross with herself.
Well,
But
speaking of people, Jan Victor Koretsky looked like he could
Come
kill
on.
everybody.
Come on. And then at the start of the race, bit argy-bargy with Cole Punchard. I sort of asked you in the commentary, so Punchard moved across the front of Koretsky, stuck a big elbow out to allow Martin through. Koretsky, what would they say? What would they say in football? Led towards him with the head.
Oh, what, you're red carding him?
I'm not red carding anybody. I don't have that capacity.
If you're leading with your head, I mean, that's
what is the ruling on that? What are, like, because that will be debated on bike rides all this week coming.
If you bang elbows, it's different, but you definitely saw a little bit of this going on, a bit of blocking.
With a bull, you get the horns. Like.
But, I mean, it's great to see that they were fighting for position, that front group, and we were talking before in our little run this morning. Who's going to win? And it was ridiculous. Went, right, this person.
Yeah.
Before you know it, we named about 12 people.
Your predictions are
and it's ridiculous.
It's so tight at the minute, and it is so close. And we talk it up a bit in the commentary, but Specialized Cannondale, that's real.
Yeah.
They don't like each other, and they don't like each other because that makes them both better.
Yeah.
But he wasn't taking any of that today, Koretsky, and I do feel we were kind of robbed a little bit of that wheel hadn't let go.
Yeah.
Victor is very, very good, channeling a bit of adversity, turning it into a result.
Awesome. Yeah, but we have 2 races left.
Can't wait.
A week off, Lake Placid,
Big flight.
Mont Saint Anne, and I think it's not long enough for people to forget this race.
Yeah.
No.
And also to do any sort of major training. You'll recover from this.
Tight.
You'll get on it's really
from
tight.
Worlds to the end of the season. Like as an ex-athlete, that's a ridiculously tight schedule.
Tighter than I remember it being.
Yeah.
And I think
it's the biggest season we've done on the World Series.
Koretsky saying after the short track, there's no time to train and adjust. The form you've got here is the form you have. I was just chatting after the race to Adrian Boischi. He said this weekend was painful, was his word to describe it. Not painful as in the physical effort, the fact that he got so close. He wants to win so bad.
I love watching Boischi ride a bike, man. He's got this kind of flow state thing that sort of straddles road racing and mountain biking in a way that
he's the boy.
Yeah, he's just got such a touch on
the
bike.
He's left here in great shape and he wants to win so bad. But he's also aware, he said, myself and Victor, we're in great shape. Nothing's going to change between now and Placid.
Okay.
We're talking around the 500-pound gorilla in the room here. Charlie Aldridge,
mate,
second today. And I mean 500-pound gorilla in the nicest possible sense. He's a big cuddly gorilla.
Yeah.
Like, what a ride from him. Second today. His mum and girlfriend are here.
His family,
crying their eyes
out.
out.
Dad, we're here at the finish.
Yeah.
Very, very cool. Great ride. Really mature ride.
Yeah.
Do you know what? He's been so mature under the form that Punchard and Martin are showing.
Yeah.
He's not been upstaged by them. He's got the experience. They were out front today trading headbutts with Victor Koretsky. He just machined his way to second place.
That's smart, isn't it? Don't get involved with these.
Yeah, happily.
Yeah.
Didn't get involved today.
Don't get
Look
involved.
how well that went.
Yeah, and I was lucky, right? Well, because in the end he had this technical that took him back 30 seconds when he was.
Didn't ask him actually.
Yeah, it was something issue with his chain that he had to keep going back to. But yeah, great ride from him. We won't see him in Lake Placid, of course. He's going back to the road, but he's managed that brilliantly to get out there and get 2 wins this season. Take the rainbow stripes back. What a performer!
It was like Nino in 2023, that performance.
Yeah.
Like every time we saw him on camera, kept going. And at the end of the day, we always talk about it. You're not building those gaps for your own vanity. You're building those gaps so that whenever disaster strikes, you have time. And he had time to get. He didn't get a lot of help from the mechanics. He just went, I'll get this to the line. Whenever he jumped off again after being in the tech feed zone.
3 times, wasn't he? So
mad.
Yeah,
absolutely mad.
Carlson said afterwards that he'd be running. He'd have had the bike over his head and would just be going for it.
Ready, set, go.
Ready, set, go. Ready, set, gone.
The Victor Koretsky method.
Yeah.
Well, we'll miss him in Lake Placid, but hopefully everyone else or everyone with us, you guys, will all be there. So safe flight over there, and time has caught up with us. We'll see you soon.
That was a fun day out.
Just like that. That is the end of the beeline. Thanks for watching. Good night. God bless. Safe journey home.